Hi, it's Sue here from Inspired Messages Monday. I hope you've had a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. And this is the 1st of January, so your newsletter and your video is a little bit early, usually would be tomorrow, but I thought, well, I'll do it on the 1st. People are at home, and so you might like to enjoy listening what's coming up. And I have done something for the month, as I usually do, but I've also done something for the whole of 2022. So sit back, relax, and it might be slightly longer than it normally is. So yes, make yourself a cup of tea if you haven't, and come back and listen to what's in store. So on the 1st, which is today, we have the Sun trining Uranus. So this is great, you know, to have that on the first day of the year. I was really happy to see that transit, because it's a trine, and trines are easy. And so, you know, when we've got Uranus in the mix, we're likely to have flashes of insight. It's about the genius and great things that could happen. And so, we need to think that, this is about freedom, living as a sovereign being. I've talked about that all year. All of last year, I should say, and the year before. So glimpses of the future you may have, and really unexpected positive change highlights this transit. So we're also, aren't we, on the first day of the first month. So this is represented by the Magician, okay? And the Magician was in the spread, okay, twice, because it's the 1st of the 1st. And, he has all the tools on the table in front of him to do what he needs to do. So this is likened to us, we have everything we need to move forward in a positive way. And so, using the tools that we have as individuals, because we're all different, and the tools to move forward. So this is about transformation, mastering new situations that maybe are ahead of us, moving forward as well, and joint skills, maybe joining with somebody else as well, and remaining adaptable. So that's the first thing that I wanted to show you. Now, tomorrow we're going to have the new moon. So the new moon is going to be in the sign of Capricorn. And so this means, Capricorn's very focused and driven, and it's a cardinal sign, it's an organizer. This, is quite a strong new moon. So it's a great day to write down your affirmations or your New Year's resolutions, or do, a vision board of what you want, 2022 to be or do for you. Okay, now it does make a trine. Obviously, that trine from today will still be in place. So again, because it's in the new moon chart, we have to take that into consideration. And so it means that anything is possible as it's incorporated into the new moon energy. Now, also, we have in that chart, we have Pluto next to Venus. Now, Venus rules money. It also rules relationships, obviously, but it does rule money. And the two together, Pluto can be very revealing, but it can also be about betrayal. So, are we going to feel that we've been betrayed? On a personal level, you might feel like you've been betrayed by somebody, but in a world situation, are we going to find that we've been betrayed by our governments? And so I think that's quite an interesting transit to be in this new moon chart. So, think about that. So we are also in a 6-year. Okay, last year we were in a 5-year. This is 6-year. So if we look at the the 6th, and obviously this was in the spread as well. This is the Lovers, and it can mean again about relationships. Now this could be, you know, what I've just said, because we do have a relationship with the powers that govern us, and so this might also be a decision that you have to make, because always this card can be about making a decision, you know, who are we with, you know. Again, it can work on a personal level as well. So this card, and the fact that we're in a 6th year, is about security. It's about family. It's about relationships and our children, and love. You know, love, how important love is. And so I think that's quite, you know, an important card to think about. Okay, so the next thing that came up, and I had it twice, was the Strength card. Now I know we have to be very strong as we move forward, because we are going through a paradigm shift. The world is changing. Things are breaking down, things aren't working, you know, especially here in the UK, our health system isn't working anymore, and everything, you know, around us seems to be very on shaky ground. So we do have to be very strong. So this card relates to Taurus, and we have at the moment, we've had for a while, we'll have for a bit longer, Uranus is moving actually through the sign of Taurus, and you've probably heard me say that again before. So Uranus again is in the mix really with this card. So it really is about self-confidence, actions, having the power of your convictions, standing in your own truth. It's about wisdom, patience as well, and gentle force, really, non-violent, but being self-reliant, really, and confronting those who push or bully you. And, you know, we can see that on the world stage, you know, as people are being coerced into taking a medical intervention that they don't want. And, you know, I've seen that there are, just in England alone, there are 23 million that haven't gone along with it. So, you know, there are lots of people that are being courageous and are not being pushed around. So this really speaks, you know, of that, of you know, being strong, having the courage of your convictions, as I said. So and it came up twice, so very, very, you know, good card to come up, really. So the next card that came up was the High Priestess. The High Priestess. Now she she came up in the gift position, so this is a gift. And she's got this book, There Is Secret Knowledge in It. So from my perspective, the secrets here, matters that may be going to be revealed or not yet revealed, that, you know, will come to the surface. So inner illumination, this could be esoteric knowledge as well. But something is going on below the surface that's hidden, that really needs to see the light of day. And the two connects to the moon, and the moon is also about secrets. So I think this is quite an interesting card to come up. So I think things will be revealed. I think they are being revealed slowly. It is slowly, but I think, you know, it's going to happen more and more. Okay, so Mercury is going to go retrograde, and that is on the 14th of January, and that will be till the 3rd of February. So when Mercury goes retrograde, we can expect disruption, usually in technology, wires get crossed, emails get lost, people get the wrong impression, or get the wrong idea of what you're saying. So just be aware of that. But I always think that we need to use that time as reflection and going inward. And so, you know, using meditation maybe, or just sitting and thinking about what you know, what's important to you, and what you want to do when it comes out of retrograde, and don't get too het up if things of technological things go wrong. Okay, so the next card that we've got is it's the Justice card. Okay, and this is important as well, because there are lots of court cases going on around the world, and if you take my newsletter, I usually put links to that kind of thing, because you can't always see it on mainstream. Well, you definitely can't. So this card, you know, is about restoring harmony and balance, and law and order, money management, accountability, and as I say, there are many things going on around the world. People are fighting for their freedom, and fighting for justice, and fighting for the truth, and so what's happening is like a snowball, if you like, gathering as it's going. Or it's like the domino, you know, it started and you can't stop it. There's too many things going on now, and so this the law and order thing is going to come to light. Of course, we've also had Ghislaine Maxwell's trial as well, so that's also been going on in the background. So there's a lot of stuff about law, court cases, and restoring our life to how it should be. So I really like that card coming up, and that was in the mission position. You know, that's our mission really, is to find the balance, really find stand in our, you know, again in our own power, because that's what that card's about. Okay, so on the 17th, we have a full moon in the sign of Cancer. Now, the moon is ruled by Cancer. Full moon is known to be emotional. And in the sign of Cancer, it's going to be extra emotional. So you can expect emotions to run high. And that moon will be opposite Pluto. So intense encounters with others, especially those close to you. Pluto is about transformation, so it might indicate, you know, that we do have some kind of transformation. So the next card is, not surprisingly, it's the Tower, and the Tower obviously relates to Uranus, and we've been talking about Uranus. So this could be a bolt out of the blue, a collapse of a structure, of an old way of life. It could be, I don't know, shocking revelations, death of an illusion that we're all under, destruction of corruption, which would be great, freedom. And Uranus is the awakener, actually. And, you know, you can see, you know, everything's collapsing. And so, you know, it really does go with the astrology. And just to say that the Berlin Wall came down on a Uranian transit. So, you know, nobody thought that was going to happen. And so, you know, watch out, see what happens. Okay, I always like to finish the month on a positive note. I'm going to be looking at the whole year in a minute. But the card that came up was the Chariot, and you know, we've talked about this card, we talked about it last month, and it relates to Mars, and he is running a steady course and he's on his way to victory. A clear purpose is given with this card, and determination, courage again, like the strength card, energy to fight for a goal, and it is this card of victory. So that is very positive to end on. Now, every month I do an affirmation. So the affirmation I've changed because it is the new year, although I still think the one about being a sovereign being is important, and I would still do that as well. But for this month and year, I'd like you to put your hand on your heart and affirm with me. 2022 will be a year of positive change, joy, peace and happiness. I'll say it again. 2022 will be a year of positive change, joy, peace and happiness. So say that every morning until we come back, and we'll kind of do the creative visualization to go with it and the New Year's resolutions, and make sure that we're all on the same page, because that's what we want. We want peace, we want joy, we want happiness, we want positive, we want lots of that in our lives, all of us. So imagine if all of us are doing it, it's going to have an amazing effect. It's going to, the more people that do this, the more likely it is that it's going to happen. So no being in fear at all. So 2022, here we go. If we look back, if you've been watching me for a couple of years, 2020 was when we had the Saturn next to Pluto, and that was all year. And Pluto has been in the sign of Capricorn since 2008, and that was when we had the first financial crash. So lots of things have been breaking down, and then in 2020 we had the conjunction. Saturn came around because it moves faster and hit or caught Pluto up. So Saturn obviously is all about the old ways of being. It rules the governments, the structures, the UN, the World Health Organization, all the big corporations, all the big businesses, all the banks, the church, everything that we know. And Pluto, what Pluto does, it raises to the ground that's no longer working. It's no longer right for us. And so when those two were together, it's kind of, destroying everything. And if you've been following me, you'll have heard me talk about it every month. And by now you might be understanding it a bit more, because we can see what's happening, and we couldn't at the beginning. And then last year we had Saturn squaring Uranus, okay, and we had the last hit of that on Christmas Eve. And so that's been in the background this year. And so again, Saturn wants to stay as it is. It wants to stay as it's always been. And Uranus it's about the new. And so a square is like a bit of, I want the new, and the Saturn is saying, no, I want to stay how it was. And so we've had that going on all this year. Now it does move away, but it does come back. It doesn't conjunct exactly in October, but it comes back to nearly 1 degree. So as an astrologer, and lots of astrologers are saying this, that is still in the background, because we still need to continue the breakdown of the old, so that we can, put something new in its place. Okay, so for 2022, we do have that in the background, but it's not going to come back, so we have some really kind of better transits and lighter transits, I would say. So the first thing we're going to have in February will be the Jupiter. Actually, we've got 3 Jupiter transits coming up, and the first one is in February the 16th, and it will sextile Uranus. So here's Uranus again. So Jupiter is always about bringing new things, opportunities, things that are good for us. and it expands things that are good for us, you know, that it brings new people into our lives, new ways of doing things. And because it's sextile Uranus, Uranus is different, it's new, it's not the same, you know. And so lots of people who are stuck in the past, you know, might find it difficult to say, you know, well, we're going to do this in a different way. We're going to live a different way. We're going to maybe grow our own food, for instance. So I know for a fact that farmers now, there are farmers around the world who are looking at how to grow food in a more sustainable way, not connected to the governments. This is separate, you know, because there is a split in society, and so, you know, that's one of the decisions we have to make, you know, which direction are you going on, you know. And I think you have to be very aware of what is going on. And again, you know, I do put really great videos on my newsletter, so if you want to sign up to that newsletter, just go to my website astrologysue.com and send me a message, and I will add you to it. That's on the contact page, because it really is what I really search for, things that are factual, you know, that are proof, you know, and that you can look at and make your own decision that you might not have found. So getting back to the astrology, so we've got this Jupiter sextile Uranus and February, so that will be quite, you know, well, very good, I think. And then coming up in April and May, we're going to have Jupiter conjunct Neptune in Pisces. So again, you know, Neptune is about dreams, and Jupiter is about opportunity and luck. So this is really about, you know, making our dreams come true, and doing visualization as well, because there will be you know, transits going on around that will allow you to do that as well. But you know, Jupiter in Pisces and next to Neptune in Pisces is a really, really good sign, and very positive. And you know, I feel, you know, kind of we need to go back to these, you know, if we're feeling down, we need to go back to these 3 Jupiter transits, I think. You know, when we have Jupiter expects us to do something towards towards that opportunity. It just doesn't fall in a lap. We have to maybe start something, and then because we've got that transit going on, Jupiter will give us the benefit, will give us the gift. So think about that. I think that, you know, in what was it, April and May, that's going to be quite powerful. And also May 1st, we're going to have Jupiter sextiling Pluto. So again, you know, this is a sextile. They're all nice transits. They're not squares. They're not oppositions. They're not. They're kind of almost handing us the opportunity. And Jupiter here is about opportunity, sextiling Pluto, which is transformation. So there's a lot of good things coming in the next few months. And then in, I think it's July, we're going to have Uranus again is going to conjunct the North Node. So the North Node is about future destiny and direction, and the direction we should be moving towards, okay? And you know, Uranus is about freedom and groups, humanity, and thinking outside of the box. So this could also be something to do with awakening as well, or more people awakening, as Uranus is called the awakener. I think, you know, if we've got again the 3 Jupiter transits, then we've got this Uranus conjunct the North Node, which happens at the end of July, then, you know, we've got like half the month gone. Sorry, half the year gone, haven't we? Where we've got some really good things to get our teeth into. So what next? So well, I just want to say around the world, millions of people are waking up to the illusion, really, of life that we've already, all of us been, under an illusion, which is that Neptune being in Pisces. But then we're going to have these transits that will change that. So we've actually already reached a tipping point, but the more people that are awake or fully awake, the better it will be. So you need to ask yourself, do you want something better? And are you prepared to leave the past behind? Because that's difficult, especially if you're a fixed sign. The fixed signs are Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus. And so, it's difficult if you're a fixed sign, because, you'd rather stay with what you know. And I'm a fixed sign, so I understand that fully. But I think there are times when we need to move forward. So 2022 can be a year of positive change for this planet that we live on. And if we're prepared to take a leap of faith, really, we need to pull together as one in unity and decide our future, really, and go for it. So I hope that's given you a little overview of 2022, and a happy new year. Have a great day today, and you know where I am if you need to speak to me. I am on Facebook, Astrology Sue Fletcher, and my website, astrologysue.com. If you need me, just contact me, and I will see you at the beginning of February. So enjoy the rest of the new year, and bye for now. Bye bye.